Everyone's arguing about ChatGPT versus Claude versus Gemini like it's a religion. I tested every single one of them, so you don't have to. 6 models, dozens of hours of testing. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one you should actually be using. Quick disclosure, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I paid for every subscription out of my own pocket, so this isn't a paid ad wearing a review costume. If that's useful to you, the sub button's right there. Here's the thing nobody's telling you. In 2026, these AI models are closer in raw intelligence than they've ever been. A couple of percentage points now separate the top 6. That old argument, which one is smartest, is basically dead. So the real question isn't which AI is smartest anymore. It's which one is actually built for what you do all day. That's exactly what we're breaking down. First up, ChatGPT, still the default app on planet Earth. And there's a reason for that. It does everything. Voice mode that feels like a real conversation. Image generation built right in. Sora for video. Over 60 app connectors touching your Gmail, your calendar, your entire digital life, but breadth isn't depth. Push it on long, structured writing or a deep coding project, and it starts cutting corners. It's a Swiss Army knife. Incredibly useful, just not always the sharpest blade in the drawer for one specific job. So here's the verdict. ChatGPT is your pick if you want one app that does a little bit of everything, reasonably well, second contender. And this is the one developers and writers keep quietly switching to, even if it's not the loudest name at the dinner table. Claude. Claude consistently leads coding benchmarks. Not hype, it's the model developers are actually switching to inside tools like Cursor and Windsurf, with a context window that stretches up to 1 million tokens. And here's what actually surprised me. The writing doesn't sound like an AI wrote it. No, in today's rapidly evolving digital landscape. You know that phrase, we've all seen it 1,000 times. Claude just doesn't say it. So the verdict on Claude, best for coding, long-form writing, and any task with a bunch of specific rules you actually need followed. Third contender, Gemini. And if you live inside Gmail, Docs, Drive, or Android, this thing is basically already in your pocket, whether you signed up for it or not. It's baked into Google Search, baked into Chrome, baked into your phone. That's not a feature. That's an entire ecosystem built around one assistant. Where Gemini actually wins outright, massive context windows and native video and image input. Feed it a 2-hour podcast and it can turn that raw footage into usable written content. The verdict, Gemini is your pick if you're deep in the Google ecosystem, or you're working with huge documents, video, or images as your starting point. But what if you don't want to pay $20 a month, times 3, just to compare tools? Let's talk free. DeepSeek shook up the entire industry when it first dropped, and it's still one of the best cost-to-performance options out there. Perplexity isn't trying to be a general chatbot. It's a research engine, and every answer comes with real, clickable sources. And Grok is the only one really built for real-time, trending, social context. If you're building something and care about API pricing, DeepSeek is shockingly close to the paid frontier models for a fraction of the cost. And if you're the person who doesn't trust an AI answer unless you can verify it yourself, Perplexity is your tool. Every claim linked back to a real source. Grok's whole thing is speed and relevance to right now. Trending conversations, live context, nothing else really competes there. But here's the part. Most comparison videos completely skip. Wait, why pay for one when you can access all of them? This is OpenRouter. It's not an AI model. It's a single doorway into almost every model we just talked about through one account, paying per use instead of stacking up 3 separate subscriptions. Claude, GPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, Llama, Mistral, all of it through one API key. You're not married to one company's roadmap. You just pick the best tool for each specific task, on demand. The verdict? OpenRouter is for developers, builders, and honestly anyone who's sick of subscription lock-in. And here's the uncomfortable part nobody wants to admit. All these comparison videos, including probably some you've already watched, obsess over which model scores half a point higher on some benchmark nobody's ever personally verified. For 90% of what normal people actually do day to day, the difference is small. What actually matters more than the model itself is how you use it. Your prompting, your workflow, pairing the right tool with the right job. So here's your actual cheat sheet. ChatGPT, your everyday all-rounder. Claude, sharpest for writing and code. Gemini, best if you're already living inside Google. DeepSeek, max power for basically no money. Perplexity, answers you can actually verify. OpenRouter, every model, pay as you go, zero lock-in. There is no single best AI. There's only the best AI for what you're actually trying to do. And now, you actually know which one that is. If this saved you from wasting money on the wrong subscription, smash that like button It actually helps this reach people stuck in the same "which AI do I even use?" spiral. Comment which one you're switching to. I read every single one. And subscribe if you want the next one, where I make these models fight each other, live on the same prompt. See you in the next one.